After Daredevil, Born Again Episode 3, I think audiences will have to wait until Episode 5 for the show's main criticism thus far to be resolved. The ending of Daredevil, Born Again Episode 3 was suitably tragic with the death of White Tiger. As a vigilant of New York and an important aspect of the show's last 2 episodes, many expected Daredevil, Born Again's White Tiger to stick around longer than he did, though his death has not been met with outright criticism. Instead, many are praising the show for including such a shocking death in the MCU, as was the reaction to Foggy Nelson's untimely murder in the first episode. With all that said, some elements of the 2025 Marvel show are being criticized. Although aspects like Daredevil, Born Again's cast, tone, and new characters are receiving praise, some are claiming that it is too disconnected from the Netflix show, thanks to the absence of Foggy and Karen. Beyond that, one of the other biggest criticisms that continued in Daredevil, Born Again Episode 3 may not stop until Episode 5. Since Daredevil, Born Again Episode 1's shocking opening scene, Matt Murdock has not suited up as the titular hero. Herein lies the aforementioned criticism of the show, with many wondering when it will begin detailing more superhero action scenes, akin to those from the premiere and all 3 seasons of Netflix's Daredevil. While it is worth noting that Daredevil, Born Again has an incredibly strong narrative reason for Matt not wearing the suit, it is easy to see why some are somewhat annoyed by the lack of appearances from the Vigilant. After all, one of the best aspects of Netflix's Daredevil was the balance between legal drama and superhero action. Daredevil, Born Again is taking another route, with Matt focused solely on using the law as his weapon as opposed to his fists or billy clubs. This stems from Foggy's death and Matt's failed attempt to kill Bullseye. Matt no longer thinks himself worthy of being a hero after he tried to cross his own moral line. And while this reasoning is perfectly sound, audiences are beginning to notice the lack of the devil of Hell's Kitchen. In light of this criticism being raised, it will likely continue to be so for at least another episode. As many will now know, Daredevil, Born Again underwent a major overhaul midway through production. Despite 6 episodes being shot by the original team, Marvel committed to changing aspects of the story, including providing a more definitive answer as to whether Daredevil, Born Again is a continuation of the Netflix show or not. Although the overhaul took place, it was reported that most of the original 6 episodes would remain unaltered. Aside from episodes 1, 8, and 9, Daredevil, Born Again's middle section will remain mostly the same, with only small connecting scenes reshot. A report from Thar indicated that Matt did not appear as Daredevil until episode 4 of the 6 that were initially crafted, which equates to Daredevil, Born Again Episode 5. As a result, audiences should not expect the return of the man without fear in all his devilish glory until at least episode 5. After 3 episodes of Daredevil, Born Again, I will not begrudge anyone who wishes to see more of the titular character. That being said, I do not think this criticism of Daredevil, Born Again, will matter in the long run. For one, it is not as if the show does not have a good reason for Matt retiring as Daredevil. Foggy's death, the attempted murder of Bullseye, and the overall harrowing opening scene of Daredevil, Born Again Episode 1 are more than enough to justify Matt's brief stint away from the costume. The reasoning for Matt abandoning Daredevil in the original version of the show was the same, yet Foggy was killed off-screen. Furthermore, if Matt returns to his Daredevil persona in Episode 5, that will allow 5 episodes to focus on his vigilant work, given the addition of Episodes 8 and 9 after the show's overhaul. This will mean that over half of Daredevil, Born Again Season 1's episodes will feature the hero. When counting his brief appearance in the opening of Episode 1, this takes Daredevil's appearances up to 2/3 of Season 1's total episode count. To further ease worries about a lack of Daredevil, Born Again Season 2 story is currently in production. The initial series was planned as 18 episodes with Daredevil. Born Again's 2 seasons being formulated after the overhaul split them in half. Given what is known of the original plan, it is likely that the first half focused on Matt and his legal battles, while the latter half switched back to his vigilant work. All of this means that a return to Daredevil goodness is not far away for those willing to wait for 2 more episodes of Daredevil, Born Again.